Kia ora, my name's David Kinane, and in this Sharp Kinane tutorial today we're going to be looking at green screening in iMovie. To make green screen work in iMovie, first of all you need to have a green screen clip, and you also need to have your background. Now your background can be a video or it can be a still image. I'm going to use a sequence of still images. And we'll talk about the quality of the green screen to maximise the effect as we go through the tutorial. The first thing we need to select are the background images. So you start with the background and you add the green screen as a layer on top. And click Create Movie. Now you don't want Ken Burns as an option as an overlay or a background to your green screen overlay. So let's first of all stop the Ken Burns. So we're going to select on a picture, and it says in the bottom left hand corner here Ken Burns is enabled, so we're just going to press that to switch it off. Now when I scrub through the timeline, that image is perfectly still, which is what we want. And the same with the background here. We don't want this one here, we don't want that moving around. So again, select the image, Ken Burns disabled. Now I happen to know that my video is 18 seconds in length, so I'm going to need to stretch the length of this one here, and it's 5 seconds, so I'm going to make it 9 seconds. You can see at the top here 9 seconds, and the other one is going to be 9 seconds as well. So I need to stretch this one out to a further 9 seconds, and again you can see the timestamp at the top of the screen. 9 seconds. So now I've got an 18-second or a 19-second movie, it says here. So the next thing I need to do is now select the clip that I want to add to the top. So I'm going to click on the plus sign up here. Click on my video, recently added, and you can see here my green screen at the top. I'm going to select that, but I'm not going to drag it down. You'll see why. I'm going to click on this, and we've got here plus, play, and these 3 dots. The 3 dots are the important bit. I'm going to first of all, let's make sure it starts at the beginning of my timeline here. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and the option we want here is green blue screen. Click on that, and it will add it for me, and now it's processing, and now it's cut out what we can see is going on here. And that, quite simply, is how to add green screen to a clip. Let's talk about green screen. What you can see here is a perfectly flat green background, and that is the key to the success of good green screening. To do that, you need to make sure that the fabric or the background that you're using is perfectly and evenly flat, flatly lit, flatly tightly stretched, so there are no shadows, no seams, nothing like that in the background to change the tone of the green. The flatter and more even the tone of the green that you use, the better and higher quality of your green screen, which you can see here. So some tips. If you use green screen fabric, make sure it's stretched nice and tight against a flat surface like a wall. And the wider you can make your green screen, the more options that you've got, the length of the fabric that you use to do that. Next, what you need to make sure is that your model, the person who's standing in front of the camera being green screened, who's going to be stripped into the background, needs to stand away from the wall so that they themselves don't cast a shadow, because the shadow will give a different tone of green in the background and create that kind of ghosting that you can see in poorly done green screen. And so what you need to do is make sure that if you do light them, or if they're lit by a window or something like that, they stand far enough away that the shadow that's being cast is actually can't be seen by the camera or can't be seen at all. And if you do have to use a light, make sure the light is up high, pointing down onto the subject, so that any shadow that is cast is down and behind the subject, and that should help you get the best possible output for your green screen. Now obviously this clip I've chosen here is perfect. It's an example of a good flat green screen. But even so, even if you get a bit of trouble with your green screen, there are some tools inside iMovie to help you crop out bits of the scene or bits of the green that are troublesome, usually the edges, and also any kind of wrinkles or slightly different grey tones in the area. So to do that, to access that menu, you click on the clip to select it, and actually you can see here up in the top right hand corner of the clip view preview box, you can see we've got 2 options. The first one's the slider. We'll click on that, and the computer determined the strength of the filtering out of the green compared to the background to get the cleanest, crispest edge. You can change that. Look, if we slide this up and down, you can make, you might, for your own effect, you want to make her a bit more translucent. Let's have a look at the next option here. If you've got some troublesome areas, often you run out of edge, and so you might have some kind of interference going on at the edges of your frame. And so in green screen, what you can do is you can just tell the top layer to only green screen out the areas inside this yellow border and boundary. But if you're too severe, look what happens here. Let's just say there's too much of a shadow and we're trying to organize things here. Watch this presenter's hand as we move through, as we scrub through the timeline. You see her hand disappears, and a bit further on her head might disappear if we go a bit this way. Oh, yeah, that's, but the right arm and the left arm, yeah, that's okay. But this would stand out, this lack of hand here. So you can see, if we click on this, you can see her hand. So what we would do is we would have to edit this just to make sure that her hand fits in, and that would work. But again, I'm just beginning to lose a bit of her shoulder there, which we didn't notice because we were looking at the hand. But that movement, we need to make sure that it's close but not totally, such that the subject then disappears from the frame. And so once you've got that the way you want it to do, you might be able to cut out some of your troublesome areas. Your green screen will be complete, and then you can just process your movie and add titles and all the other bits and pieces that you need to do to actually complete your movie. But that is how to add green screen simply and easily in iMovie. Thank you for watching this Sharp Canane tutorial. Until the next one, ka kite anō.